Welcome back to the Sense of Humor's podcast, where we talk anything pop culture or anything that interests us. We're your hosts, Griffshock or Travis, and my buddy here, Multimite or Tyler.
What up?
So, I know we talked about superheroes before in the past, and so this time I wanted to talk about like Marvel versus DC and like what superhero we would think would beat another superhero if they had a mashup.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't think we've ever done this. I thought of something similar where I would grab a generator and just like pin two random characters from fiction and be like, all right, who do you think would win? And probably go over skill sets and etc. But no, that's pretty interesting. It's like our own version of what's that one YouTube video series called like Ultimate Death Battle or just Death Battles, I think.
Oh yeah, where they had
So
like Star Wars characters and a whole bunch of other people go up against each other.
yeah, there it is. Yeah, like their oh no, they haven't uploaded it yet, but like their latest one was or will be Bowser versus Eggman.
Oh, what?
I feel like
I feel like
Bowser would
Bowser would
win,
win.
but I don't know. Eggman's pretty powerful too. Like he's like an evil Tony Stark, so it's
Hmm.
hard to say. But anyway, continue with your Marvel versus DC. I'm actually curious for the lineups that you have, or if you want me to pitch in like a few of my own or whatnot.
I don't know. I don't know. I was just wanted to, because I always talk about it with some people at work. Just like some people think that Spider-Man's stronger than Buckeye and Captain America,
I would agree
which,
on that, yeah.
because
Like
like,
I think well, here's the thing. The thing about Spider-Man is he holds back most of his strength. So, in one of the comic runs called The Superior Spider Man, Doc Ock takes over Peter Parker's body and he chooses to don the mask of Spider Man and claiming to Peter because the spirit of Peter Parker can kind of like still be seen by Doc Ock.
yeah.
So he tells Peter, he's like, I'm going to be an even better Spider Man than you will. So he goes out and like one of the first things he does is he punches Scorpion's jaw clean off, like because of how strong Spider-Man is. And then he realizes like Peter was holding back this entire time. Like he holds back like so much power. So, yes, I think if Spider-Man either for whatever went bad or vice versa if Hawkeye and Captain America went bad, then yes, I think Spider Man, if he had to fight to the death, would win. But in like a combat sense, like in a tactical sense, I think
Yeah.
Captain America would carry both him and Hawkeye to beating Spider Man.
Yeah, like my friend made a suggestion or observation how well I also watched because after he said it I watched the movie. I watched what was it? Captain America Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching that I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And it's kind of what wanted me to talk about this because like yeah, I was watching like superheroes going against each other, but they're both Marvel, and I was like, it would be cool to see like a movie where DC and Marvel went head to head. And
Yeah, no,
I'm trying to figure out the lineup that they would throw in there.
yeah, I mean, if you want me to pitch in ideas or just like give my like observation or opinion or whatever have you, because like I mean, Death Battles does a similar thing, obviously, where they line up two characters that are very similar, or at least similar in power, so that way they can see like who would win over the other and all that. But yeah, no, I like this. Yeah, I mean, we could take turns, or again, if you have a
Okay.
first lineup, then I'm down to hear whatever you got.
Who do you think would win between Thor and Captain America, or Thor and Superman?
I think Superman would win, cause so let's how are we gonna debate this? Cause if we put them on a world that has nothing to do with either of their worlds, then it would be Superman. If it had to do with, like both of them, their worlds colliding for whatever reason, so Kryptonite's now on Earth, so Thor has access to it. But here's the other thing: if we're going with the assumption that neither of them did their homework on either or, then I would say, yeah, Superman would probably win, in my opinion. Like, yes, Thor's strong, but he can be penetrated. Like, he's been cut, he's been stabbed, he's been, brutalized. I mean, obviously by other superhuman beings, but I mean, he was even knocked back by Iron Man in the first Avengers movie, like by his
Yeah.
repulsor blast, so by technology. So, but Superman, he's literally invincible unless you have kryptonite on you. So I'm gonna say Superman wins that fight.
All right. All right. That's fair.
It really depends on the scenarios that we put him in, honestly. Like, I'm just gonna go with the assumption that we're gonna go with like, okay, they're both on just a random planet, open space. They have plenty of, area to damage and do
Yeah.
whatever. Like they could probably even do little to no damage to the surface that they're fighting on. But yeah, like with no preparation, with no knowledge of one or the other, then yeah, Superman. If Thor knew about kryptonite, maybe he could use his wind. Like, cause you remember in Batman v Superman how like Batman made it like gas formed or whatever,
Yeah.
like he turned it into gas.
You,
I like if Thor somehow got a hold of that and then like used his wind to make like almost a whirlwind of like that gas and like flew it towards Superman and caught him in that, not only would it weaken him, but it would probably make him dizzy and like put him out of
yeah. Make
like
them all
commission for a little
nauseous.
bit. Yeah, and then that could give Thor the upper hand, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. So do you think Superman would, or Thor would win if they were fighting in like New York City, like downtown? Do you think like Superman would hold back because he doesn't want to hurt other people?
I mean, if we're going off the logic of both a lot of the animated series um and even Man of Steel, where Metropolis is literally a crater by the end of the
Oh yeah, that's
movie.
true.
So I don't know if he cares or I bet he cares, but he knows he doesn't have the power to, you know, stop what he does. Like he's like, all right, well this guy's threatening me and it threatens the safety of all these people, yada yada yada. Like even if it's not his world, I think um he'd have that moral standing where he's like, okay, but like it may not be my world, but those are innocent people down there. And I feel like Thor, in fact, I know Thor would be the same way. He's like, those are innocent people down there. He's putting people in danger. But if we were to put him in a scenario where they had to fight to the death for whatever reason, because the other thing too is like Thor's not exactly a Boy Scout, but he's very into honor. Like he respects Captain America a lot, and Captain America is very similar to Superman. Like in terms of personality, they're both Boy Scouts. They're both very wholesome, very like we do what we do for the right reasons, and like we do it because like it's the right thing to do and all that. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't think Superman intentionally kills. Captain America does because and that's why he's able to wield Mjolnir. Might I point out is like I found that out recently. Like to be worthy like Thor, you have to be willing to kill. So it'd be like Batman would never be able to lift Mjolnir because he refuses to kill, you know? And
Yeah.
for what reason, like, what clarifies as worthy in the Marvel Universe is basically you do what's right no matter what. Like, you have that power, you do whatever you need to with that power. So even Spider Man couldn't lift Mjolnir if he wanted to, and it's very interesting.
So does that mean Captain America was willing to kill in that one
I
scene
mean,
in game?
oh, Thanos? Absolutely. Like, all three of the Avengers that were there wanted to kill him. Well, I don't know if Cap wanted to, but I know for sure Thor and Iron Man wanted to.
Oh, Thor, 100%.
Yeah, no, like, he was ready. And then Iron Man literally said, "Yeah, I don't care. Like, I'm ready to go whoop some alien ass." So I think Captain America doesn't want to kill. He knows
He's
he
just like,
needs to.
yeah, he's like, at this point, I feel like I have to kill you.
Well, I think he would have killed Thanos either way, because like he's literally a man of war. Like he fought during World War II. He killed Nazis. He killed all these bad people because he had to. Like he even says that to the scientist when he like before he gets the serum. The guy's like, "Do you want to kill some Nazis?" And Captain America's like, "I don't want to kill anybody, but I don't like bullies, and I don't like the Germans coming over here and ruining our country and ruining other people's countries and potentially the whole world if we let them." So he felt it was his right to go fight in the war, even if it meant he died. So
Yeah.
that's why I feel like, and I think that's why Captain America is my favorite Avenger. Like, if we're not counting Spider-Man as an Avenger, I think Cap's my favorite Avenger for sure. So
Do you have any other lineups that you were thinking about?
yeah, I'm trying to think because I'm pretty sure. Like, and I don't want to go off strictly Death Battle either, because like I feel like that's copying them. Like, I mean, I think this is a pretty obvious one, but what about Deadpool versus Deathstroke? Like, I think that's pretty obvious, but
Oh, yeah. I feel like Deadpool would win.
yeah. And I only really brought that one up as a gimmick because, like, I don't know if people know this, and I could be wrong about this, but supposedly Deadpool was supposed to be a character to make fun of Deathstroke. Because if you look at their names, his name was Slade Wilson. Literally, Deadpool's name is Wade Wilson. They both have like death involved in their name, and they both carry swords and guns. They're both mercenaries. Their masks are literally identical, like except like Slade Wilson having one missing eye, but regardless, like they're basically the same
Identical. Yeah.
character in terms of design and probably skill, but in terms of like character, yeah, obviously Slade Wilson's a very like evil, very serious character, like tussled with Batman, tussled with the Teen Titans, like he's a very bad guy. And then if you guys ever watch like Arrow, he was the main villain in season 2, like so all this. And then Deadpool, he's not exactly a villain, but he's not a hero either, obviously, like anti-hero, all that.
Hmm.
But he's very jokesy. He's like if Spider-Man was willing to kill and more crass and more
Hmm.
takes advantage of his power. So, yeah, no, I definitely agree, but as kind of a joking way to put it, yeah, like I think Deathstroke would or Deadpool would beat Deathstroke.
No, 100%. Well, also, Deadpool also has regeneration abilities. So,
Yeah, and I mean that's what I mean. Like I think Deathstroke has like some sort of like I don't know if or how accurate the show is to the comics, but in the Arrow show, he has like some sort of super soldier serum, so
hmm
kind of like Captain America, but it doesn't like, you know, regenerate like crazy, but
like it'll
you know.
heal, but it'll just take longer, and it won't heal as well
I
as
was
it
going to
would
say
normally.
he's got like the powers of Captain America and the skill of Deadpool. So I still think Deadpool would win.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%. Let's see. Because I'm looking at this online on my computer of just a comic about DC and Marvel. Uh,
Oh, really?
yeah, let's see. Trying to figure out when it came out. It was released 1998, May. Uh, but anyways, while I was looking at it, it gives you like some like people like heroes against heroes. Um, gives you like Flash versus Quicksilver. It gives you the answer. So I was just gonna ask like who do you think would win, and then give you the answer.
Oh, like they did an actual verses in the comic?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it looks like a full brawl, a full go out. So yeah, they have a list of like the
I'm
Flash
gonna
and the Quicksilver.
so Flash versus Quicksilver.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Flash because Flash literally runs fast enough to travel back in time. Now, maybe Quicksilver has too, but in every iteration, he's fast, but I don't think he ever gained the title of fastest man alive like, the Flash did. So I think the Flash is overall faster. I bet like even Quicksilver would be kind of slowed down for him in a way. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people can correct me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Like Flash is way faster than Quicksilver and would totally kick Quicksilver's ass.
yeah. That's the answer. The answer is the Flash won using super speed or
Yeah,
superior speed.
that's a better way to put it. Yeah, superior speed.
All right. I don't know how to pronounce this name. I'm gonna butcher it, but you got Aquaman and then Namor,
Oh yeah,
the
Namor.
the submarine.
Namor.
This
Did
yes.
you ever watch Black Panther: Wakanda Forever?
Oh, it was him. It was the guy that has like the wings on his feet.
Yeah, he's the first declared mutant of the MCU. Um, I'm going to say Aquaman. Like, I don't know a whole lot about Namor,
Neither do
but
I.
I think it's Aquaman because he literally has control over the sea. From what I understand,
Let's see what
yes,
his abilities
Namor
are.
is the king of Atlantis, but from what I can understand, he only like can breathe underwater and he has the flight due to his feet. Like I think and maybe he has super healing too, but I don't even think that would be able to, you know, overpower the power of the ocean. So I'm going to go ahead and say Aquaman.
I looked up Namor. I looked up his
Namor.
superpower. Yeah. I looked up his superpowers. I'm trying to find them because I'm curious on him. Doesn't say.
To be honest, I didn't even know Namor was a bad guy in the comics. I thought he was just an anti-hero or
Yeah, I thought
or
it was
maybe he
just
does later, but yeah, no, from what I understand, he's a villain in Marvel. Like Spider-Man faces off against him a couple of times.
it's wild. Okay, what about how do I
Wait, what
say
was
this?
the answer though?
Oh, sorry. Sorry. The answer is Aquaman. By summoning a whale to lap out the water and land on top of name your and since he is pinned and unable to move, he decided to or declared to be the loser.
Oh, okay. So this isn't a fight to the death. This is like more of like a fight to the I give up, the
Yeah, to the
white
I
flag.
surrenders. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
guessing. I
All
thought
right.
it went more in depth, but yeah.
I mean, I don't mind that cuz I'd prefer like if we were going a fight to the death, I think the results would still be the same, but yeah, no, I can see why. Again, like I don't think Namor has power over the sea. Again, bigger comic book nerds out there, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure he can only survive in the water better. Like he's adapted to the water, but he can also fly and then super strength and super healing if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think he can like talk to the sea life nor control the water itself. I don't recall that in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but
Yeah, I
and
don't
I'm not
remember them
just
talking
going
about
off
it.
of that either. But yeah. All right, who's the next lineup?
How do I pronounce this? I'm gonna spell her name instead of pronouncing it because I don't want to butcher it.
Hmm.
Elektra.
Electra?
Yeah, isn't she the one from Daredevil?
She's Daredevil's love interest.
Yeah, that's what I thought. There's a guy. When I hover over it, it shows her picture, and she looks a lot more familiar.
So
Uh,
Electra versus who?
Catwoman.
I'm gonna say Electra, cause from what I
Hmm.
understand, Catwoman is she's a great thief, and she can handle her own in the crime of Gotham. But from what I remember, Elektra's literally trained by assassins, and that's not a skill
Yeah.
level Catwoman can really face, I don't think. So I
No.
feel like Elektra would beat Catwoman in that sense. But like in terms of like if it was a chase, I feel like Catwoman would go away. But if it was a fight, I think Elektra would win.
And you are correct. It says Electra won by cutting off Catwoman's whip as she hung from the what's it? It's a really small word. A gutter on the building under construction.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like Battle Worlds, but Marvel versus DC instead of just all Marvel.
All right.
So who's the next?
Robin versus Julie Beeb. Julie Beeb. How do we pronounce that? I know her. I know her. I see her. She's from X-Men, but I forgot her name.
Oh, Jubilee. Yeah,
Jubilee.
Jubilee. So Robin versus Jubilee.
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna
Jubilee.
say I'm gonna say Robin because Robin is taught literally by Batman, and Jubilee really only has the power to control electronics in an explosive way. Sure, so I guess that could disarm Robin from all his gadgets, or at least all his electronic ones. But then he's still got his skill in fighting. So like he can fight like Jubilee hand to hand and beat her. And yes, she was trained by like the X-Men, but I feel like even Batman could handle his own against the entire X-Men cuz he's fought similar villains. And I mean, sure he doesn't have as much prep time as he did with his other villains, but like I think because of how similar a lot of their powers are to like some of his villains and maybe even some of his allies that he's fought, I feel like he would have trained Robin to face off such foes. So I'm going to say Robin.
And you would be correct.
It was Robin.
You were right. You were right. Robin won by using his cape as a decoy and then tying up Jubilee.
Interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like a Robin type of fight. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, and here's the other thing too: is Robin's not as brutal as Batman,
No,
and
not even
that's
close.
even why Robin left Batman in the first place to become Nightwing. He wanted to be the better version of Batman. And he kind of was. Like, he wasn't better at him than fighting or being a detective, but as a hero alone, like, his reputation saw him more of a villain than a brutal vigilante. So I think, yeah, no. Either way, with the skills that Bruce gave him, I'm pretty sure Robin would have won that fight. I'm pretty sure Robin would have won that fight.
And you seem to be correct, which I honestly agree. Well, I thought I said Jubilee, but I just thought I knew she had like more like actual powers than like Robin doesn't have powers. He has abilities, and he used them to win the fight. So,
Yeah.
ooh, well, this is a good one. What about Silver Surfer and Green Lantern?
Ooh. Oh man. Okay. Well, if we're going again on scales of power, that's a toughie. So from what I understand, you can break out of Green Lantern's hold. Like you can literally shatter the green that he uses to make his stuff. From
Correct.
every interpretation I've seen, you can shatter his imagination. I'll just call it because I don't know what the proper term is.
You use your imagination here.
Yeah. So I feel like because I'm pretty sure Silver Surfer's like really fast too. Like yes, he's not as fast as like a speedster, but his surfboard allows him to travel really fast. And he also has the powers of a cosmic being that were
Yes.
handed down to him from Galactus. He's one of Galactus's heralds, is the correct term. So I would say Silver Surfer, but I feel like the fight would be close because Green Lantern's because the power of the ring is pretty strong too, but it also depends on the power of the will. Does it say which Green Lantern it is? Is it Hal Jordan or John Stewart?
I'm actually glad you asked that question. It's Rayner.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that one, but okay. Well, either way, I think Silver Surfer would win. If it was Hal Jordan, I would say he'd win. If it was John Stewart, I would say maybe John Stewart would have won, but
Which one's the black one? Not trying to be racial here, but which one's the black one?
it's not John Stewart. John
John Stewart.
Stewart's the
He's he's my favorite one.
yeah. No, I hope if they redo the Justice League that he's the Green Lantern that's chosen for um oh what's his face whoever's running DC right now.
I don't know who's running DC, but
It's the guy who
I hope they
did
do it.
the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I forgot.
It's not.
Okay,
It's not. No,
I got
Foggy
it.
was in Marvel.
James Gunn. James Gunn is
Mm.
in charge of DC. I hope he picks John Stewart to be the Green Lantern. But anyway, so yeah, what was the end result of that battle though?
The end result was the Silver Surfer won with when both collided each with each other and released a huge explosion which knocked out Green Lantern but left the Silver Surfer unfazed.
Yeah, cause like I don't know if this is true, but I feel like the Silver Surfer is very. I, I don't know. I feel like he's emotionless. Like
Very. He
he literally.
never smiles. He barely blinks half the time.
Yeah, I feel like he like and I mean, it could be because his planet was literally destroyed by Galactus, and the love of his life was killed in the process as well. But I don't know. It's interesting. All right, who is next?
Hmm. What about Spider-Man versus Superboy?
Oh, man, this breaks my heart, but it's got to be Superboy cuz well, first off, he's literally as impenetrable as Superman. Like maybe if Spider-Man used all his strength to punch him, maybe he could knock him back, maybe, because he's not as strong as Superman until he gets older. Like he's literally Clark Kent as he's learning to use his powers. If it is Connor Kent that I'm thinking of, but from what I remember from Connor is yeah, like um he couldn't exactly fly in Young Justice, I don't think. But he had laser eyes, he had freeze breath, he had super strength, like super impenetrable skin. So I'm gonna go with Superboy, as much as I hate to say it, but I yeah, I would love to think Spider-Man would win that fight if he didn't hold back, but I know even like some of the strongest beings can't take on Superman, and Superboy is literally just a slight downgrade.
All right, you ready for your answer?
Yeah, sorry, someone's
Oh no,
vacuuming outside my room, of course.
I know you're good. So the answer is, with the advantage of his spider sense, Spider-Man won by tying up Superboy with impact webbing and electrocuting him with high voltage, knocking him out.
Really?
Yeah,
Is Superboy's weakness electricity?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, but Spider-Man figured it out. Uh, abilities. Oh my gosh, his ability list is ridiculously long. He's got superhuman strength, stamina, endurance, speed, agility, reflexes, uh, healing, which is or super hearing. He can fly, enhanced vision, X-ray vision. Oh, God, telepathic vision. That doesn't make sense. Ultra red vision, sorry. He's okay. Yeah, it doesn't say what his weaknesses is. The Boy of Steel.
Oh, this is interesting. I didn't realize it was Ben Riley's Spider-Man as well. Sorry, I'm
Oh
looking it up
yeah,
while I wait for whoever's vacuuming to be done.
yeah. I should probably say the names of of the characters, but like yeah, it's Aquaman, but there's probably different ones, and yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I really like Ben Riley's setup for his Spider-Man outfit. I've always liked the hoodie or like the hood and the little gauntlets and belt and stuff. Oh, it always looked so sick, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, the Scarlet Spider's sweet. I don't like his Spider-Man suit as well, but his Scarlet Spider suit's really cool. I didn't even realize because yeah, Superboy was also a clone, so them both being clones of their previous characters, that actually makes sense in terms of the fight. Alrighty, who's next?
Wolverine versus Lombo.
Versus who?
Lobo,
Oh,
Lobo.
Lobo. Um. Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go off the only knowledge I have, which is Wolverine. Wolverine has literally regenerated from a single cell of blood after being eaten by a monstrous Hulk, and he cut his way out of the Hulk. So I'm going to go ahead and say Wolverine because literally his healing factor is insane. Not to mention, adamantium can basically cut through anything. And, I mean, unless it's heated, but that's besides the point. I don't think, or again, only going off the knowledge I have on Wolverine because I know Lobo's an intergalactic bounty hunter. He's a badass. He's basically like if Guardians of the Galaxy and Deadpool had a baby, and there you go, that's Lobo. But or Ghost Rider, like he's like a mix between Ghost Rider, Deadpool, and and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Um, but yeah, I'm
He
gonna
also
go
looks
ahead.
like a off version of a Kiss artist.
I know that's what I was just about to say. Yeah, like he looks like an old '80s rock like kind of character. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and say Wolverine. But let's hear the result.
Well, Wolverine beats up Lobo in a brutal bar fight. Makes sense. Which
Huh.
was largely off panel. So yeah, Wolverine won in a very brutal
Damn.
bar fight.
I mean that again. That just makes sense for Wolverine. Maybe Lobo's kind of prone to that sort of area as well. I don't know if he's kind of a bar. He seems like a bar kind of guy, so maybe.
100%. Okay.
Yeah, no, I figured. Again, like I mean, obviously Wolverine can be like knocked out or whatever, but yeah, no, in terms of being like put down, literally he's tried to kill himself and hasn't, so
Okay. So, who do you think would win versus the Hulk or Superman?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's Superman. Like, again, as much as I'd love for Superman to be less powerful to make him more likable, because here's the thing, I get the appeal of having a godlike superhero. Like, literally, that's what Superman was based off of from the creator. The creator was Christian. He wanted to make a superhero that resembled Jesus or God or whatever. And so, to do that, he made him all powerful and all good. Well, you know, excluding what Lex Luthor said about him.
God mercy.
But you know, I would say or Superman being impenetrable, literally cannot bleed without kryptonite being involved. And Hulk, you know, being as brainless as he is, would not put two and two together. And Hulk is penetrable. He's bled, he's been cut, he's been stabbed. Again, a lot by a lot of bigger things like, the Hulk Buster and Abomination, but Superman is probably twice as strong, or not twice as, but a million times as strong as both of those things. So I'm going to go ahead and say Superman, you know, beats Hulk.
That's a fair way to say it. Yeah. The answer is after exchanging punches and a burst of heat vision, Superman defeated the Hulk.
Yeah, I figured. Because that's the other thing, too, is sure they both share super strength, but Superman has more impenetrable skin, and he also has freeze breath and laser eyes, and super speed, if
I mean, yeah,
we're counting that, too.
we've literally watched him get shot in the eye and the bullets just crumple. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Hulk seems to be relatively immune to
Bulletproof.
bullets for whatever reason, but yeah, no, if it's something like Mjolnir or the Hulk Buster or Abominations, like, I don't know what it was, but yeah, he's been, again, penetrated by multiple other weapons.
Okay. So now here comes another one. They have the kind of the same. Well, they have the same combat fighting skills. Um, they both use like tactics in a way. So, Batman versus Captain America.
Oh boy.
That's
Now
like
this is
that's a toughie.
I was gonna say, so Captain America, from what I understand, so obviously he's superhuman. So I would say Batman would have Bane to compare to Captain America, but less in height and more in strength. But also they both fight like because here's the other thing a lot of people misconstrued about Bane. Bane is not a mindless fighter. Like he's a very intelligent fighter. Like The Dark Knight Rises is the best portrayal of Bane. Um, like at least compared to like that one from I think it was the Batman and Robin movie or whatever. It was one of the crappy ones, but where he was just a mindless monster. That's not Bane. Bane is a very intelligent but also very strong individual. So I think that's the closest um, Batman has to compare to Captain America, but I would say Captain America is more strategic and intelligent than Bane. With the mere, war experience, maybe Bane fought in a war, I don't know. But if we're talking just straight Captain America, fought World War II, learned a bunch of martial arts over the years,
Also fought
has
Red
his
Skull.
exactly literally fought his evil counterpart, and then he has an unbreakable shield. So yeah, I mean, if we're going off of his Avengers armor, it is impenetrable as well. So kind of like Batman's armor, where it's bulletproof and I think for the most part knife proof. Like it won't stop like a stab, but it will stop like a slash. But anyway, so I think the only way that Batman could win and probably has won to similar foes is overwhelm him with his tech. Because Captain America heavily relies
On a shield.
on, well, not just, he doesn't rely just on a shield. We've seen that in Winter Soldier. He literally puts it down and he fights Batroc and knocks him out, like just with a kickflip or whatever. Like he backflip kicks him, knocks him out. So Captain America can definitely hold his own in hand to hand combat, but he's very face to face about fighting. Batman's very hide in the shadows, you know, very like scare tactic his opponent. So I would say Batman would win merely because I think he has more analysis abilities and he has more tech and I think he knows more martial arts than Captain America does. Like he knows more fighting styles than Cap does.
Yeah,
So if
I
Cap
think
uses a similar fighting style, then Batman can just use a whole different style to counter it.
yeah, I
So,
think Batman knows like 50 plus combat fighting styles, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah, and even with Cap being a super soldier, again, Batman's faced off against Bane, who basically had the super soldier serum of the DC universe. So I'm going to go ahead and say Batman wins that fight.
Batman does.
Yeah.
You are correct. The match limitedly ends. Sorry, I might have butchered that. Anyways, so the battle ended in Batman's victory, though both are evenly matched after hours of combat. However, a sudden flashing of sewer locks Captain America off. Um, mm, uh, balances as Batman manages to strike him with a batarang. Batman rescues Captain America from certain death by drawing from drowning. but Captain America's uh, from nearly drowning causes him to lose as Batman pulls him out of the sewer um, and claims I lost and may have doomed an entire universe, says Captain America.
Oh, I see. So I don't know the whole story, but I can probably get it from the context of that. Is some super being combined their universes and was like, all right, you guys got to fight for who gets to stay alive, and whoever has the most wins, I assume the universe survives. I'm gonna assume DC would win. Like, if we're gonna just straight away,
Yeah,
like, if there was a winners bracket, like,
DC.
I'm gonna say yeah, because they have Superman. Superman's gonna beat all of them.
Yeah, not
I
even
mean,
just
maybe.
that. Like, actually, all their people there actually have like mutant type abilities, and they're more open to their mutant abilities. They don't have to hide themselves in the shadows like everybody does in Marvel.
I mean, not everybody does that. Like, I mean, Spider-Man has superhuman. Even the X-Men, they don't exactly hide. They just wear masks so people
Yeah.
don't know their true identities. So they're both like the same universe, but DC has more overpowered characters.
Yeah,
So
like Shazam and Superman together could annihilate half Avengers already. So,
yeah, yeah, I'm gonna go with Batman winning, and that's the other thing too is even the unsuperpowered characters. I would say Spider-Man would beat Batman though, because and I'm going off of death battles, because again his spider sense is what um ultimately saved him from dying to Batman. But like again, like I mean, if Superboy is not as powerful as Superman, then that fight was obvious. But if
yeah.
Spider-Man was to fight against Superman, and maybe comic book Superman's a lot less powerful than I think he is, and I'm hoping so because that would make his character a lot more interesting and desirable for me to read. Because at the end of the day, I know it's and I'm probably gonna get backlash for comparing it, but it's like Goku, like he wins every fight because there's some sort of plot armor, or in this case, power armor, that just like absolutely keeps him from losing.
Yeah.
So who's the next lineup?
The next one is going to be Thor versus Captain Marvel.
And is this the chrome Captain Marvel with like the red symbol on his chest and everything? Like, I'm trying to remember what he looks like
Um,
or what his powers are.
this one, oh, okay. It
DC's
says Captain
Captain.
Marvel, aka Shazam.
Oh, Shazam. Okay, so
See,
let me look up
this is
Shazam's powers real quick.
this is what I would honestly say Shazam. That's just me, but I feel like Shazam's the type like Shazam's not like a person of like Thor's like his own person, but Shazam you kind of like you learned the ability. You're not like, oh, I've had this ability for, you know, 20 million years because I'm a god of like Greek god, you know. But Shazam's kind of like you pass the power down to a different person so that he always has to learn that new ability. But Thor would win with the experience,
Okay.
in my opinion.
So I'm gonna say Thor, but only because so Shazam has died to Superman. If you guys remember Injustice. One second.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Superhuman physical attributes, strength, speed, durability, etc. Enhanced. It literally says etc. for that. Okay. Enhanced. And no, so he's smart.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
DC or my niece was playing with the door stopper. So, um, let's see. Okay, so kind of going back to this, and if I'm not mistaken, Thor has beaten Hercules in his universe.
Really.
And according to Shazam, his six powers are the wisdom of Solomon, so very intelligent, very wise. Okay, I don't know what just happened there. Um, so wisdom of Solomon, strength of Hercules, so as strong as Hercules, stamina of Atlas, and I'm pretty sure that was like a speedster. Power of
Yes.
Zeus, so that's where he gets his electricity. Power of the storm. Courage of Achilles, but again, Thor's pretty courageous himself, so not saying a whole lot. And speed of Mercury. So I think the only thing that could beat Thor would be Shazam's speed. But I even think that wouldn't be enough to stop the God of Thunder. So I'm going to say Thor wins. Mjolnir alone is pretty powerful, and if he's holding Stormbreaker as well, Shazam's going to get annihilated. They both have electricity powers, so I feel like those two powers would cancel each other out. Like, it wouldn't affect them. They just absorb that power. Um, and here's the other thing, too. If Thor found out that saying Shazam transforms him into Billy Batson, he'd probably just say Shazam and then boom, he's a kid now, and oh, okay, well, now I can go and beat the kid. So, and I don't know
It's
if
true.
Shazam himself has to say it. I'm pretty sure anyone can say it and it'll transform him into back into Billy Batson, but I could be mistaken. But also, from what I understand, Shazam does not have impenetrable skin like Superman does, and that's how Superman was able to basically melt his brains. So, like, if anyone knows the reference I'm talking about, or Injustice. Um, so yeah, in Injustice, Superman heat visions Shazam's face off, and as we've seen in like Man of Steel, uh, heat vision doesn't really affect Superman or Zod. It knocks them back, but it doesn't penetrate their skin, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and say Thor wins.
It just says Shazam is no match for Thor. It says if because I lost the page, but I still looked it up
Oh,
anyways.
okay.
It said Shazam, is no match for Thor. If you mean comics, Thor versus Shazam, sorry, dyslexia. Then it's a closer fight to deal with, but Thor is still stronger. Thor can win by controlling Shazam's lightning and reducing,
Oh,
and yeah, so he turns it down and then turns it back towards Billy.
okay.
So he takes his power of lightning and uses it against him. Got it.
That's actually kind of cool. So lightning can be used against Shazam then. So like if, Shazam and Black Adam were at one another, then they'd probably use their lightning against each other because it's not exactly a weakness for either of them. Or
Yeah.
it is a weakness for both of them. Like, it's a power, but it's kind of like, giving someone a gun, like, sure, they can have the gun, but someone else can have the gun and, shoot them, and either way, they're penetrated by the damage and whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, Thor controlling it, that's actually interesting. I didn't think about that.
Neither did I. I always thought when I think of Thor, I don't think of him always being like super smart, but
Well, I think he's intelligent, but like I didn't think of that as an option. Like, cause well, I guess him being the god of thunder makes sense, so that makes sense. But I guess I just didn't think about that in terms of the fight. But Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Well, and I think Thor has more war experience too, because yes, Billy Batson gains some of the knowledge of the gods that he has the powers of, but he's also still at the end of the day a kid. He'd basically be Peter Parker in Thor's body.
Yeah.
Alrighty, what's the next lineup?
I looked up uh Doctor Fate versus Doctor Strange.
Okay, now this one's a little bit more tough, cause and forgive me again, DC fans, for my lack of lore, but I'm pretty sure Doctor Fate is like Ghost Rider when
Mm,
the user puts on the helmet. Like the helmet is a separate character. Like it's a
correct.
separate entity, kind of like yeah, how Ghost Rider and Johnny Blaze are two different characters.
Kind
Or
of like
well,
Venom and Eddie, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Same body, different personalities, different people, whatever you want to however you want to word it, but so
It's like a curse
and from what
object.
I yeah, and from what I understand is that object, the helmet, has a being that is like, either thousands or millions of years old, so it's got ancient knowledge, ancient power. And yes, Doctor Strange also has that, or has similar knowledge, but at the end of the day, he's like a normal human being that just learned magic. Whereas this is like, I think, a celestial being or like some sort of, not a god, but like just below that. Like they have power to, manipulate and whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate beats Doctor Strange.
It says in the end, Strange suffered a twist of fate. So yeah, this says Doctor Fate won.
Okay.
It doesn't say
I
how, it
didn't
just says he won.
I didn't think I would have as much like I'm just really going off of all the media I've seen
Yeah,
cuz
you're
like
actually getting them a lot on point. I'm really impressed.
I well see this is why I want to bring my friend on who's actually read like a ton of comics. Like he'll constantly like he'll come up to me and be like, "Hey bro, I just heard like the new issue of this and this is out." And I'm like, "Bro, that's actually really cool." Like he gave me a comic called oh, what is it called? Something Batman. Let me look for it. Absolute Batman. And oh man, it's a very interesting concept. So basically, um, Darkseid manipulates the world to his own image, where like all hope is gone and everything.
Yeah.
And this Batman is insane. Like he literally carries around a battle axe, which is crazy
What?
cool. And then he uses his cape as a weapon. Like his cape can turn into like these almost like vines or whips and wrap around people, and he'll just like pull them to the ground and knock them out. Like it's
That's
so
badass.
cool. Yeah, no, that version of Batman is very interesting. But yeah, no, I'd love to get him here on the podcast and have us talk comics sometime because I think that'd be a very interesting topic. But yeah, I mean, like even this, like we're going off of game and movie and TV show lore. And yes, I've read a few comics, but most of them have been Spider-Man. I've read a few X-Men and um a little bit of Ghost Rider, and I wanted to get started in Moon Knight and Daredevil as well, but I
Dude,
haven't yet. And
ugh, don't even get me started with Moon Knight.
I really hope they do a season 2.
I
I'm
I
really looking
am
forward to
I
that.
am I'm dying for season two.
Yeah, if they don't realize that was one of their best shows and they don't give us a season 2, I'm going to be very upset cuz like it literally ended with a cliffhanger of Jake Lockley and he's one of the coolest of the three personalities. So,
Yep. And I'm also worried that they might just not because they're releasing. TV show or another season of Daredevil.
Well, and I'm excited for that too because Tom Holland recently wrote up a new contract saying that he'll be involved in more Marvel projects than just the movies. So that could mean he could make cameos in Daredevil or any of the other shows. Like I would be so down to see a Daredevil and Spider-Man team up against the Kingpin, just like the comics.
Oh, that'd be so badass.
I would love that so much. Please make it happen, Marvel.
I wish they'd bring in Punisher more often than they did brought out the show, but after that they just dropped him off.
Well, lucky for you, he's going to be showing up in the new Daredevil show.
Are you serious?
And yeah, and supposedly he's going to have a big role in it too.
Oh, dude, this is gonna be so badass. Anyways, I don't mean to veer off from. Well, it's not really off topic, but like,
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, podcast's what it's for. It's all about the straying away. And I mean, we're out of time, but if you wanted to do one more before we end it off, I'm down.
I say you should give out one. feel like I've been talking a lot, so
No, that's fine, man. Cuz I mean, there are so many good, you know, there's so many good combinations that you could do, but at the same time like it's hard to pick one. So, I'm going to do some research real quick and then see if like any of these fights have actually happened or if people have done the math or something.
okay, okay.
Um, let's see. Um, okay. Oh man, I don't know.
No, you're good, bro. Don't worry, you're good.
Let me see. One second. All right, here we go. Sorry, that took so long.
No, you're good. You're good. You're
Who
good.
would win in a fight between Batman and Iron Man? I know we've involved Batman, but I don't think we did an Iron Man fight. And both
Mm-mm.
of them being playboy billionaires, both using their wealth for the better of humankind, using their technology to be superheroes and fight the good fight against the
Okay.
evils. So, who would win between those two?
I'm gonna say Batman. Why? I mean, because like I grew up liking Batman more than I liked Iron Man. I was originally a DC kid, and then I converted over towards Marvel, but I still really love them both equally. But I remember like Batman. I feel like Batman's under like he's done combat training longer than Iron Man has been Iron Man. Like before, like Iron Man was just Iron Man until he got locked up in a cave, and then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make this Iron Man suit, and then that's kind of where he went off. But Batman, he's been doing it since he was like a kid. So I feel like Batman would have the combat strength. The Iron Man can fly with his suit, but Batman, I feel like just has more like small, like unexpected gadgets. So I'm gonna say Batman.
All right. So this is off of the Death Battle, um, the Death Battle channel. So I looked it up. Um, so this is all the research from the comics and the movies and the shows and the games, I think. So all their powers put to the test, their wealth, their minds, their strengths, and like you said, Batman had the upper hand in hand-to-hand combat. Iron Man is all about his suit, but at the end of the day, that is what saves him. So what happened was Iron Man attached his armor to Batman, kind of like he did with Killian at the end of Iron Man
Oh, yeah.
3, and set it to self destruct. In the end, Iron Man was the victor.
Oh, shit. That's dark.
Yeah. So, like, and
Okay.
people can, debate and whatever have you. Like, I get it. Like, I would think Batman would win too if Batman had, like, a week or less of preparation, maybe even a day of preparation. Because, let's be honest, they are both very similar characters. Obviously, Iron Man being the
Very.
snarky billionaire and superhero, whereas Batman's just the snarky billionaire, but the dark and brooding, superhero. So I think at the end of the day, yeah, Iron Man, kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's just such a close fight. And that's with all their suits and all their powers and everything that they've delved into. So I don't know. I'm just going off of what Death Battle says, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say that's it because I don't think it's been a fight other than that. Maybe it was in the comics, but I couldn't find anything. That's what I
Yeah.
was looking for originally. But in terms of a fight to the death, Death Battle says victor goes to Iron Man. But yeah.
All
So we are
right.
out of time. Do you want to wrap this show up?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. All right, everybody. Well, I hope you guys did truly enjoy another amazing podcast. We're on what, number 13, right?
Yes, sir. 13 of the podcast.
All right. So we're hope you guys stay tuned for episode 14, which you guys can check out here at Multimite on Twitch. But on Monday, it's going to be released to the Sense of Humor's podcast, where you guys can subscribe and leave a like if you do enjoy. And you guys can also check out another amazing content at multi-hyphen-mite on YouTube. Great,
Don't forget
awesome
the hyphen.
content. Yep, definitely don't forget the hyphen. That's the most important part. Um, Amazing content over
I like
there.
that hyphen.
Oh, I know. I know.
I like that hyphen.
And then, what else was I gonna say? Oh, I created a YouTube channel as well.
I was gonna say promote some of your stuff, bro. Like we got. In fact, I'm gonna do it for you. You did it for me. I'm gonna do it for you. So to Glaze, my co-host, he obviously has his own Twitch channel. Please go check that out. He's been playing some really cool solo play, let's play games that I've wanted to play myself. So exclusive content that you probably won't find on this channel. So go check him out. He's got some other stuff. And then yeah, he just opened his first, or not first, but he opened his gaming channel coinciding with his Twitch channel. So go check out Griffin Shock on YouTube. And if you guys are into photo editing as well, go check out Photo Editor 1999. And yeah, Griffin Shock on Twitch.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you, Tyler, and I'll thank you guys all. But hope you guys do enjoy, and I guess we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
See you guys.